Hey travelers, Mag and I here on day 51 of our trip across the United States. Today is going to be another great day in the agenda. We're starting off our morning right outside of Ann Arbor. We're in the University of Michigan North Campus right now, getting to walk around the grounds. A very beautiful facility. And by coming on a weekend, we can actually find parking and be able to get around the campus. Today's routing, we're going to move our way into Ann Arbor, and we've got a lot of interesting things to do there. Once we finish up, which will be in the late afternoon, we'll be heading in toward Detroit. We may get some things in there. I don't see that we're going to spend a whole lot of time. And then when our day comes to an end, we'll be staging in Pontiac. Ichon and I are looking forward to a great day filled with a lot of interesting sights and a lot of fun caches. So we're looking forward to sharing those with you. Come on, let's go check out Ann Arbor. Welcome to Ann Arbor, Michigan, the home of the sprawling University of Michigan campus. We started our tour of the campus on the north end at a popular sculpture known as Wavefield. This sculpture stands as a tribute to Francois Xavier Bagnaud, a former student in aerospace engineering. It was created by Maya Lin. She's known for creating the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in D.C. and the Civil Rights Memorial in Montgomery, Alabama. Michigan Medicine is one of the largest hospitals in the state of Michigan. It resides on the hilltop looking over North Campus below it. Getting admitted into a school like the University of Michigan is no easy feat, though. It is the top-rated university in the entire state, and ranked 25th as the best universities in the country. Requiring a GPA of 3.88 and a selection rate of less than 20% of all applicants, every student here is at the top of their game and the top of their class. Fortunately, it also weighs in as number 2 as the best party schools in Michigan. So students come here to work hard, but they can also look forward to playing hard too. The city and campus also both host some amazing pieces of artwork. This is one of the favorite murals I've seen so far on my travels. And this 2,400-pound cube is able to rotate with little more than a gentle push. You might think it's so quiet on a Sunday morning because all the students are hitting the books and studying for exams. But I think a closer look behind this statue reveals what's really going on here. A little R&R after a hard night. This was my favorite piece on campus. A great tribute statue to this hero of legend. Although the simple fact of the matter is, I didn't have time to see them all, even though I was looking everywhere I went. As the day wore on, we finally began to make our way off campus and out of town, but we still had one more stop to make. A virtual cache known as the greatest 45 minutes in sports. This is a tribute to Jesse Owens, who on May 25th of 1935 participated in the Western Conference of the Track and Field Championships held here at the University of Michigan's Ferry Field. In just 45 minutes, Jesse Owens competed in 4 separate events, won all 4 races, and set world records in each category. Finally, we made our way out of Ann Arbor and over to Ypsilanti. Our first stop in the city was this water tower, considered to be a symbol of the city of Ypsilanti. Then it was right back to school again in Schoolcraft College in Livonia. The Set Your Goals on Fire sculpture really caught my attention. Viewers are encouraged to walk into the center of the flames of this red steel aluminum mirror sculpture, and then have a look at themselves and realize that they are the ones who will set their own fire. While admittedly not as grandiose as the University of Michigan where we spent our morning, the Schoolcraft College certainly still had a beautiful campus. And they have an ocelot. You can't go wrong with an ocelot. The biggest surprise of our day came when we visited the Greenmead Historical Park. This 200-year-old, 95-acre historical park was purchased by the city of Livonia in 1976. It features 13 historical buildings within its village, a community garden, a nature trail, and soccer fields. The homes in this village were moved in from other historical sites across the state. Some of the structures date as far back as the early 1800s. and each features a historical marker at the front that tells you about the history of the building. The virtual here in the park has you visit each of these buildings and find a secret letter hidden somewhere on the building, such as in the window next to the door. While we were there, we also worked on a sequential adventure lab, which brought you to the buildings that weren't focused on in the virtual. Adding these two together gives you a reason to visit pretty much every building across the area, which was a great opportunity to walk Ai-chan for the afternoon and ensure she wore out all the rest of her energy for the day, which we did perfectly. And on the way out, we managed to sneak up on this little guy. Run for it! I found the sprawling community garden here to be particularly impressive. There were several dozen people out during the time of our visit, tending to the gardens and preparing a meal for their family. Not something I would have ever seen growing up. Our last stop of the day was for yet another virtual at the Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum, also known as M Cubed. While this place may not look like a whole heck of a lot from the outside, it actually hosts one of the coolest arcades that I've ever seen. An amazing collection of rare, unique, odd, and vintage arcade machines. You better come here prepared to have a good time because there is a lot to see and do. Definitely a spot worth a visit. And then we closed out our day at Kirk on the Hills, just outside of Pontiac. Words cannot express just how much Ai-chan enjoyed it here. She just could not seem to get enough of this rich, lush green grass, and enjoyed herself the whole time I was getting us ready to shoot our final video for the day. Well, travelers, that wraps up another amazing day spent out on the road here in Michigan. This morning we started out in Ann Arbor at the University of Michigan, and I'm going to tell you right now, I could not tell you where Ann Arbor starts and where the University of Michigan stops. Those two places are so intertwined that it's the same thing to me now. And it's beautiful. The entire town feels like you're in a university. It was great to be able to do that on a Sunday morning because you could tell the vibe was a lot cooler and calmer than it might be during the week or on a Saturday night. We decided to skip out on Detroit today. Instead, we spent all morning in Ann Arbor and we didn't punch out of there until after lunchtime. Then we started on our way north. We're staged just outside of Pontiac right now, and we're right where we want to be for tomorrow. In general, we're just excited for every day we get here in the state. It's been offering something new each time we turn a corner, and you really can't beat it. As you can tell, the grass here at Kirkland Hills is to die for. Ai-chan cannot get enough of this stuff. She's been rolling around and just loving it up. Like this video, stay tuned for daily updates, and we'll see you out on the trails.